what you get and you don't throw a fit. So this is The Temptations, Psychedelic Shack. Came out in 1970, produced by Norman Whitfield. I just can't believe I found this for $1.99. When I go on eBay, they're like 12 and 20 and 25 and 30, I guess depending on the shape that it's in. But this album is in great shape. Other than the fact that the owner previously wrote his name on it. Thank you, Adam. But I'm still happy because I get to listen to it on vinyl. And, you know, Psychedelic Shack was a big hit for the Temptations. War, you make your own heaven and hell right here on earth, hum along and dance. This is absolutely a classic by the Temptations. It's been known, or it's been said by the Temptations, that working with Norman Whitfield was not really, I think at the beginning it was good, but later on down the line, they felt like he was just overproducing them. They felt like that he was showcasing more of his instrumentation more so than their voices. And it's very evident the more they worked with them, because there's a great album by them called Masterpiece. And one song, I think it is Masterpiece. I think that's the song. I could be wrong. But the song is like 8 or 9 minutes long, and you barely hear the Temps sing. It's just a lot of instrumentation. Now, don't get me wrong. It's funky and groovy. It makes you want to dance. But you want to hear the Temptations. It should have been called the Norman Whitfield Project, featuring the Temptations. He just took over and just said, listen, don't sing on that part. Or maybe they were singing and he just erased their voices and just had the music playing. But I think on this album, I mean, it's really, really good. And I love Psychedelic Shack, 1970. Then I found In the Pocket by the Commodores. Lady, you bring me up when I was down, up when I was down. What a groove. This album is just wonderful. And look at those tight pants that we wore back in the day. Of course, this came out, I'm saying, in 1981. I could be wrong, but I'm just guessing. Let's see. Let's see if I'm right. I was right. You know, I'm getting better and better at guessing the dates of the albums. Of course, it's with Motown. Look how wonderful and shiny that vinyl is. But I love that song, Lady, You Bring Me Up. I must be completely honest, I'm not really familiar with the other songs on here, like Saturday Night, Keep On Taking Me Higher, Oh No, Why You Want to Try Me. You can see those titles there. And you know, Lionel Richie is still going strong on American Idol. I was watching him on American Idol. I'm like, that man has had so much plastic surgery. You can't even tell that it's Lionel Richie. I must be honest with you. That man has had some serious facial reconstruction. I mean, come on now, Lionel. But I guess he's doing good and I guess he's healthy. So God bless you, Lionel. But don't forget where you came from. It would be so nice if the Commodores came back together and had a reunion. Wouldn't that be awesome? That would be so awesome. And then, of course, I had to find, why did I have to find this? Diana Ross. Of course, if you follow me, you know that she was my first celebrity crush. And I just had to get this. If I see anything by Diana Ross, I usually buy it again. So I probably have 3 or 4 copies of this, but I just had to get it because it's in really good shape. And she is such, not only a great singer, but she's also a wonderful fashion icon. Did you see her at the Met Gala recently? And she's like 80. I mean, oh my God. And she came with that long train behind her. And it was just glorious. But this album features, of course, a wonderful disco hit, Love Hangover. It's the right there. What a tune, written by Pam Sawyer, Marilyn McLeod, produced by Hal Davis. I mean, that Love Hangover to me is my favorite Diana Ross song. I must say that I love the edited short version more so than I do the long version on here. But still, what a classic album, classic Diana. She was in, I hate to say this, but in the 70s and 80s, she was just in her prime when she did her album with Valerie Simpson, Ashford and Simpson, The Boss, and when she did her album Diana, which I believe is celebrating its 40-something anniversary, and it's on clear vinyl, and I want to get that. It's on Amazon, but I want to get that eventually. But until then, this has Love Hangover, which is a jam. Now, I've owned these two records before, but I sold them, and I got a lot of money from selling these two records. I found this, Roots, the Roots soundtrack, produced by Quincy Jones, conceived, produced, and conducted by Quincy Jones. And what I love about this album, or this particular find today, is that it comes with its phenomenal poster, which I do plan on hanging up again. And it says, "Behold, the only thing greater than yourself," as his father lifts up Kunta Kinte to the skies, the African tradition. I need to rewatch Roots, but the vinyl on A&M Records, I've showed this before in older videos of mine. I used to, my aunt used to own this album, and I remember watching this record go around the turntable and seeing those two letters, AM, not really knowing what they meant, but I would just see it going round and round, and I just kept looking at it. Just those childhood memories, the innocence of trying to understand music and how record players work. That was just so exciting for me as a little boy. But one of the most exciting songs on this album features that wonderful African singer, Letta Mabulu, when she sings, Ishe Oloa, Olevaje, Ishe Oloa, Oloa, I used to cry listening to that. I would get tears. And when I hear the beginning, the drums, because it is mimicking how the Africans were taken from their land and brought to America, if you will. And you hear the and it gets louder. And then all of a sudden the orchestra. And that harp. That used to make me cry. I feel tears coming right now, even as I'm singing it, because I know it sounded good to me. So, okay, so anyway, I'm proud to own the Roots soundtrack again. And lastly, because I don't want this to be a long video,